started Chai and Just Chat first. It's so good to see. Actually, today I didn't feel I'm delaying this all of you to come here because we started seeing so many chats going on, and we used to have that a lot, Chai and Just Chats, right? And some of the people who've come all the 5 years every month, they're like, because we had paused this for some time, and they're also happy that to see, because they don't meet even otherwise of this area, right? They're attending different events, different cultural events, but so here they're getting to see each other, so it was so good to see, and that's why I didn't want to interrupt that. Now that they've all had chai and finished chatting, so it's good to see you all here. I'm Nazira Dawood, CEO of Vendorship, and have been running Chai and Just Chat for the last 5 to 6 years, I would say. Someone just told me 10 years. I said, no, don't make me look old or feel old. Yeah. But with that said, I have few housekeeping rules. I just ask for mutual respect. I want to respect you all. If you all can respect us when the panelists are speaking, so there's no side conversation which is disturbing or interrupting the conversations. It's a very great topic, panel discussion. I'll also go through the agenda with you. So now, for the next 1 hour, we'll have the panel discussion where I'll moderate with the panelists and have some questions for them. This is not a prepared session. These are impromptu questions in the sense they've not been told the questions. So it's going to be, the answers are going to be from their heart. And so after the panel discussion, we will have the award session. That's something we started from this year. One is Empower Her Award, and the other one is Kindness Scholarship, which was open. The application was open for kids, and they're being rewarded. And we hope to hear back from them in 3 months to understand what is it that they did with the reward, and probably we will get to hear from them as well. Below, can you raise your hand? And Mohan, can you raise your hand? And Rasi, can you raise your hand? These are the 3 go-to people for today. Below, they didn't see you. Mohan, they didn't see you, and Rasi. Okay, great. So any troubleshooting, any feedback, please do. That's how it helps us grow further and improve next time, okay? So then the dinner will also start around 7:30. Dinner is going to be in the hall, just open with the open doors. So I would like for you all to go table by table so everybody is not gathered there. And I'll announce that as well. But I hope you enjoy the dinner. I hope you all like the chai, though. Who can tell me what does chai and just chat means? Gupshup, but you missed the middle part. Chai and gupchup, but why is just there? Aise gupchup. Chai and just chat. Justice, ethical, equity, equality, being a just conversation, so it's not geared only towards one corner, right? We usually see that. So we wanted these conversations to happen where everybody is represented, everybody has a voice and is able to speak. See, awesome. We do have giveaways as well, so if there are any questions answered, we are giving away some small gifts also. But with that said, I want to make sure I've covered the agenda, I've covered the food items for dinner, and then yes, don't leave early. Unless, and of course, if you're from Smyrna, I'm going to exclude you. But please don't leave early because the fun, real fun starts. Education starts, is here, but then real fun starts, you know when? Around 8:30. That's when the musicians or singers are going to be here. They're going to make each one of you get up and dance. I'm planning to take my chappals off. I'm telling you really, I'm in mood for dance tonight. So please, this is our festivities, gratitude, Thanksgiving, Diwali, everything included. This month is very, very, very special. I do want to acknowledge 2 people. Of course, my family is going to be always here. But where's Below? Below, of course, he gets acknowledged at home every day. Can you look for the other person? Okay. So in life, you always, sometimes life is not always bed of roses. You all know that. We all go through thorns, and crossing those obstacles is what makes us strong, right? That's how we inspire others. That's how we get inspired. And all of them don't have to be celebrities. None of us have to have a name and a title. We're just everyday, ordinary people crossing the obstacles. There are two people I do want to acknowledge because sometimes in the downest of times, they come into your life and become that pillow, right? So you don't fall down hard. You're falling down, but then you don't fall down hard and get hurt. Or they like held your hand when you're drowning and they're lifting you up. So those two people are here, and I want to acknowledge them. And Rajan Luthra, if you can come, please. I know I acknowledged him 3-4 years ago, but I think from our culture, we always recognize and acknowledge people throughout, so you don't tend to forget them. We are both Leos. We fight a lot. But if vendorship is in existence today, and vendorship is also the sponsor for Joy and Just Chat, so you'll keep hearing me saying about vendorship. It's because of him. I'm not a business person. I used to practice medicine in India, so you can imagine how vendorship was formed. He helped me build it, and then he moved away. Just exactly how it should happen for men to support women, right? And not overpowering them. So he's done that in my life. Thank you so much, Rajan. I appreciate you. And flowers for you.
Thank you so much. Guys, vendorship is doing very well because she had that talent. Now, I knew it, she can do it. Now she's the CEO of the company. We have 30 people working in the company. And company is doing great. Great, great, great. I'm really proud of her because I knew she has that talent. It's just always important to, find the right person to uplift and motivate. And I said, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. You don't give up. No, I like a job. I said, no, entrepreneurship is you have the freedom, you can do several things. And now she's doing it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much, Rajan. So for those who won the Empower Her funds today, I know it's a very small amount to start your business, and vendorship started with $200. And this is 200 actually. And that's a true story. For the registrations and the smallest things initially, the logo, getting the things done initially, it started with $200. 7 years later, all your blessings, and mostly 90% women employed in the company. So we hope to grow it much further. Thank you, Rajan, so much. G, gratitude. Namaste. Next person I would like to call, I know it's a surprise for him. Purvin Vakarwala, please come to the stage. He didn't expect that at all. Purvin is a very behind the scene person. All the 5 years of Chai and Just Chat, he would usually be in the back end. Again, another quality of a man empowering women. He would always like lift you up, and he will slowly disappear. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Purvin, for being here.
So it's funny because when we first started, I used to do registration out there. I never really came in here. She's like, "Did you hear my speech?" I'm like, "No, I was out there making sure everybody's registered and everybody's taken care of." And I had an opportunity to also help initially with mentorship as well. And she's done a great job. So, and sometimes I had to push her and kick her, but you know what? She made it, and I'm proud of her. So,
Thank you so
thank you.
much. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Kinjal, we love you too. Thank you, Purvin. Take care. Yeah. Okay, now is the real part. I want to make sure I've mentioned everything that I wanted to at this point. I really want to thank our AV person, Jijo Thomas, one of the best person to work with, very charismatic, very dynamic. Thank you, Jijo. I assume you're from Kerala. Okay, nice. And then we have the photographers and the videographer. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to blank out. I know Farhan Sayani is our videographer, and Azim, forgetting the last name, Azim. Aziz Ajani. Aziz Ajani. Thank you for coming here today for our efforts. Thank you. And of course, the food, I don't know if Ramu is here, you'll get to meet him. They are serving our food tonight from the snacks, and the food will be here soon. So I think I've got, of course, Rasi, my kids, and my husband below. You just saw him getting me the flowers. And I can't say thank you. And then you'll meet the musicians and the musicians at a later point. And thank you. So now starts the panel discussion. I would like to bring Pramod Sajja, please. Pramod, come on in. Pramod is the president of Paramount Software Solutions and Farm to Plate Inc. And he started Paramount in 1998. Thank you for being here, Pramod. Appreciate it. You can sit anywhere you want. I'm going to let you all choose where you want to sit. I'll be here moderating so I can see you all, right? And then in 1998, he started Paramount Software. He's also into philanthropy a lot. I see his feeds on Farm to Table in Mid-East collaborations as well, and I'll let you speak about it. But Pramod is someone I know from like 7 to 10, 8 years. I don't want to go to 10 years yet. We're not that old yet, right? So 7 to 8 years, and very calm, humble person. And I'm not going to read out, there's so much he's done, like awards in Thai and this and that. But I want to be real with all of us, the panelists, right? Very humble, always smiling, always shaking hands, and know that I'm up in the air attitude at all for being a huge CEO of 300 employees in Paramount Software. So we want to wish you all the best luck every time, Pramod. Yeah? Next, I want to call Meghna Noik. Meghna, you know Jijo already? You don't? Okay, now you know. So Meghna, again, has done in her academic journey in genetics and immunology in Emory University. I said, I want to be real with her. I know she wants to show she's the macho woman, right? Last time at an event, she literally lifted me up. So I was like, oh my gosh, nobody has done that other than Billo. And then she lifted me up, and I felt so good. Like, here's this like real heart, like with nothing agenda inside. So I felt real with you, Meghna. And I know we don't get to talk much, but she's always out there in every event, connecting culturally and telling stories. She's also writing publications in NRI Pulse. So she's a person you should want to connect if you need any answers. But I just feel she's and we are next door, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So, you know, that goes heavy hand.
I promise not to lift you today.
Thank you, Meghna. Thank you for being here. Next, we have Samina. Samina Khan is someone I know recently, very, very recently. He also, she, so, oh my gosh, I don't know what to talk about her. She's given this nice 1.5 minutes bio, but I just want to be real again with Samina. Samina is like, padaku, I don't know if I want to say padaku, but not in a nice padaku, like you know, really like she wants to learn, she wants to gain the knowledge, she wants to share it. She's all about people and user-friendly and technology. How can she connect all these three? So that's all in 3 words if I can talk about her. But she's also Billo's boss's wife. But what, you got 3 PhDs or 3 masters? 3 masters, right? So guys, I told you, right? Padaku, but in a very social way, right? So not always in the books, behind the books, but then also community and socially connected as well. So glad to have you here, Samina. Yeah, there's a lot I've not talked about y'all having been in AT&T. She has 22 patents, filed patents, and numerous granted patents as well. So welcome aboard. Thank you. And then finally, not the last, but the best is Ken Reeves. And Kenneth Reeves is a business executive, VP at Synectics, and also has his company, and which is called Relate Central. I'm not going to read the bio. I just had it just in case. But I know Ken for how long? 4 years? 4 years. We worked together in projects. Thank you so much for being here, Ken. And a person you would want on your team. Ken is someone you would want on your team. Very nice project management person. If the CEO is yelling and that, oh, you know, that types, you want Ken next to that CEO because he's the one who's going to continue partnership with that company, right? So because of Ken, so many, the mellowed down version of a CEO, which is very much needed, that so the human interaction is what Kenneth is all about. He's also doing his doctoral candidate at GSU, cybersecurity. Cybersecurity. So anything questions on, imagine doctoral degree, PhD candidate in cybersecurity. So you know who's the person to go to. So Ken, thank you so much for being here. and we can start our. I mean, you have water next to you, and Jijo is going to give you the mic. So if you both can share one, if this team, Meghna and Pramod, can share one more as well. Yeah, do you have water next to you? Okay. So our conversation today is about building bridges, technology, and connections. So I have my own questions apart from what I have here also. Towards the end, we'll have some questions you can ask the team member. Is everybody comfortable there? You all can shift your chairs this side also if you need, otherwise it's good. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to ask one question that all of you will ask, and then I'll probably have a question for Pramod and Meghna, and I'm going to look at my notes how it is. And then I'll have a question for all of you, and then again I'll come to both of you. Okay? Just want to make sure all of you have the questions. So what I want to ask is, we can start with Meghna. Meghna, let's talk about the impact of technology in the current times, right? We also hear it's a disruptor, but we also hear it is something that does miracles, technology, right? Like, imagine when did we think, like 20 years ago, talking to our parents via video call was like a dream, that might not happen, but look at how currently it is. So my question to you is, how has technology shaped relationships in the current times, personally and professionally?
Thank you. That's a wonderful question.
And you all can look at the
Okay.
audience and speak.
It's a very, very important topic because technology is here and it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. I think the most important thing is the accessibility, how accessible we are to each other, whether we want it or not. It's easy to just DM. I didn't know what DM was 10 years ago. And apparently my kids are doing it and I need to know what it is. So the question I have is, what is your end goal? How does it, to answer your question is another question. What is the end goal that you want for your life? For example, for myself, I think the main goal that I have is work-life balance. How accessible do I want to be to the world outside my front door is the question I need to answer every day. So work-life balance is the way I would kind of go ahead and answer that question. How accessible am I? And it's so easy to blur the lines of professional and personal. You can't have people from your company, you have to have boundaries, right? Otherwise, you can get messages and work-related stuff unendingly. It's unfair to me, it's unfair to my mental health. So the way I would do it is work-life balance. Anything that supports your goal for yourself, for your work-life balance, whatever the idea is in your head, that's the way you should let technology have that boundary in your life. It is amazing. Obviously, we get to brag on Facebook. We get to show off our milestones, our kids' milestones. Feels good to get the comments and likes, doesn't it? Who doesn't like that? But I have also been a victim of negative compliments where it's backhanded, where you realize in about 20 minutes, oh, that was not really a compliment, where they kind of think that they can do that. Like, it has to be a strong mental frame. I'm made of very thick skin, Lakshmi knows. But work-life balance is very important. Any decision you make at any age should support your own idea of work-life balance for yourself. Don't let people be in your face after a certain boundary that you have set. Set boundaries. Go ahead and set boundaries. They may not like it. They'll get over it, I promise you.
Thank you so much, Meghna. That's something I need a lesson on, setting boundaries. But Pramod, apart from the question that I asked, can you also tell us any specific example where technology has brought you closer, or that same technology has brought a challenge to you on a specific relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Meghna said, I'm not gonna, first off, I would want to start off by saying that not just because, I've been running a tech company for the last 26 years, I personally believe there's not even a single problem that's out there, a business problem, I mean, which technology cannot solve. We operate day in, day out with the ethos that technology can solve everything, right? So that's the business model that we work with. So obviously, the way in the last 5 years the technology is growing, be it chat GPT, be it the advent of AI, blockchain, any emerging technology, every day in, day out, if you look at it, it's actually solving a business problem. And that's where we come in to solve those problems, how we can take this technology. Not necessarily blockchain. It could be as simple as helping a mom and pop shop to go digital, to go, to go from, selling it on the streets to to have accessible to the world platform. So this is the power of technology. So we all agree that it actually is impacting us both in a professional way and also in a personal level. So to Nazira's question as to now technology has come, how it has helped us. So when we launched a product, Farm to Plate, which is a blockchain AI and RPA powered supply chain solution, specially to solve the problems of the farmers, is the ethos for which we started. So we could see that this is a solution which is going to help not just the members of the supply chain ecosystem in the food and beverage, but we saw that this could, at the end result, is to empower the farmers also to go digital, not only go digital, but to go global. So now, for that to happen, we have to start to have offices all across. So we were predominantly US-based company, and then COVID hit, we went remote. And then since remote, like we didn't come back to hybrid or anything. We went ahead to start to be the remote first company. So when we started our offices in Dubai, in Denmark, in India, and the US, and obviously we had plans to go into South America and South Africa, the challenge was, how do we expand, exponentially, the startup world talks in 3x, 10x. So obviously Farm to Plate is a startup, even though Nazira said I've been running the company for the last 26 years, which is the parent company. So the problem was like, how do we use technology? So that's where the culture comes into the picture. So we felt that we have to build the culture at the ground up, and on top of it you could. And today I'm very proud to say, by doing all the right things, I'm not going to go deep into it. Maybe if you have any particular questions, I could. But the fact that we've done this in a 12 months time, where we built a culture, understanding, getting over our biases, and understanding the cultural aspects of everywhere, we not only embedded that into our solution, but we also made sure that the teams all across the world are contributing. And I would say, probably apart from the culture, technology has really helped us grow in a span of 2 years into 4 continents. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pramod. Empowering farmers is a great topic. I know the farming, we have had some challenges, I think, in the last 3-4 years. We hear about farmers in India and all that, and they're being voiced out and they're being heard. So it's a great way that technology brings them forward. So, Meena, so I have the same question for you, but also if you can specify any specific example where technology has either brought you a challenge or actually helped you in relationships. I think it's on.
Technology
You
is
can, yeah.
technology is here to make people's lives easier. That's a done deal. We look for technology solutions. But what I have seen is technology can solve a lot of problems, but when it comes to the community, it's a different story altogether. When you sit in front of somebody, the feeling you get is so different from if you're sitting on a video call or talking to your grandma online. It's a very different feeling. And that is what I miss. And I can relate a story. This is a story of my grandma. My grandma was a headmistress of a school where she taught impoverished children everything that they could know. She was one of their go-to persons. She solved so many problems for them. And one day, I remember she had a community garden where she would bring people together to discuss problems, to discuss solutions, to share joys and sorrows. And that community is what I believe is missing in the technical world. And one day I remember there was a really big thunderstorm, and she had just planted quite a few saplings, and everybody rushed into that garden with tarps, with bed sheets, with saris to cover those saplings. And then that community, that coming together of people is something that happens when there is a human connection sitting in front of each other. That is what technology, that is something that I miss. And I'm into technology. I believe we can solve a lot of problems, but how can we bring that sense of community, that feeling of togetherness by letting go of technology to a certain extent and embracing people as they are?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. Ken, same question to you. Go ahead, Ken.
Good evening, everyone. As it relates to technology, the impact has impacted me when Nazira talked about me working on my doctorate program. Some of the technologies that are existing right now are fantastic, and the reason why I say that is because as I'm actually working on my doctorate program, I'm actually able to reach out and actually assess lots of articles and lots of actual data than I normally could. Right now, or at least if I was actually taking this program maybe years ago, doing your research in terms of trying to read articles and really do the assessment, it would actually take a lot of time. But right now, what I've been able to do is I've been able to actually consume a lot more articles to really help and make sure that when I'm doing my research, I can actually have a greater impact of understanding, but also have a greater impact in terms of learning and providing the right solutions and answers. So one thing I would actually say right now, we are at a time where there are lots of tools that can actually help us as well as you, really enable you to really learn a lot more at a quicker pace, a lot of faster pace, and be able to actually gain a lot more understanding in a variety of different areas that you might be engaged in.
Great. And Ken, since you have the mic with you, the individual question goes to you first, is how do you find this balance between tech-driven and authentic human connections? And is there actually a balance?
So I would actually say what I am actually inspired to really get engaged with, I'm actually working with an organization that focuses on hiring and focusing on technology as well as other industries. And right now, you have a human touch, but within the next 12 months to 24 months, what's actually going to be happening now is we're going to actually be able to take the technology and there will actually be AI type robots that you'll actually be able to communicate and talk to in such a way that it will feel like it's real. And what's impactful about that is that this particular AI type bot, it will actually have so much information that when you're talking to them, it will actually be able to provide some very specific information about you and about, let's say, you're looking to actually engage in. So for example, if you're looking for a job and from that job, you're talking to the bot, it will actually communicate to you in a human-like fashion, and it would actually give you a lot of information, a lot of data to be able to help you be able to pick that particular right opportunity that you're looking for. And so once again, just like within my own personal self in terms of trying to assume information, these particular tools will actually engage us in such a way that it has not been done before. So I'm really excited about that particular technology.
Thank you. Next question to Samina. The individual question. Samina, so have you seen in your work that digital design is able to make good human connections through digital design
Yes.
or interactions?
Yes, I've seen quite a few examples, and to draw from my relationship with my grandfather, a story I can tell about him.
We love stories.
He was a man, I mean, a math teacher, very logical, precision. Logic was everything for him. And then while he was teaching all his students mathematics, he realized there is something missing here. what is that missing factor? Creativity. So he decided to incorporate impressionistic art to his students while he was teaching math. And this was back in those days when people could not do exactly what they wanted. He introduced this. So creativity combined with logic. So that kind of inspires me every time I think about technology, the way he was able to adapt himself, the ability to see the future. How is it that the kids can be logical as well as creative? So that kind of story inspires me every time I think of design. And also his transition from, from logic to creativity to the natural healing that he got into later in his life when he was diagnosed with asthma and allergic reactions. The doctors told him, you will be on medication for life. And that's when he decided to teach himself natural healing. He went on to talk with people. He created the community of people who could come and discuss natural healing. And then he began to take roots and herbal medicines and putting them together for his own self. And then he realized there is something that he can do for the community as well. So he began to practice a dispensary where people would come to him asking him for details. How can I use natural healing? So these stories kind of always inspire me. I always look for logic, creativity, as well as something to learn. What is it that I can learn every day that can inspire me to do better designs?
Very nice. And Samina, I can tell you, your grandpa would not like me as a student. Because if he asked me what's 2 plus 2, I would say 5. That's why I went to med school, just to avoid math, right? But then life turns the full circle on me and puts me into this entrepreneurship company where it's all about numbers. Yeah? So, Meghna, next question is for you. I want to talk about cultural heritage, right? So, how has cultural, and we all like, we all like our culture, the traditions that we come from. It's what makes us. It's in our genes. Like, if I meet a Tamil person next to me, like I'll just immediately speak in Tamil. It's just like that inherent in us, right? And it's so hard and really it's so hard for me to speak in English to a Tamil person because I feel more comfortable speaking to them in Tamil. So I'm sure it's same for you when I know when we are not looking, you and Jijo are going to speak in Malayalam, right? But with that said, can you tell me how has cultural heritage played a role in your personal and your professional journey?
In the United States, after I got here,
Yes.
growing up, my grandmother used to always have sessions of Gita, which is the holy book in Hinduism. I just happen to be a Hindu, but I'm sure every religion has their own scriptures. So that kind of gave me a foundation, for a better word. Um, that still plays in my mind. Her messages, what she read to me every 3 days we used to have, and it was pretty mandatory. She said it in a nice way, but we didn't have a choice. But I'm happy that she did that. The point I'm trying to make is the core values are still the same. It doesn't matter where you are or what work you do. If you can just look back and say, hey, she was right. Be kind. For example, um, now we have fancy days like Kindness Day was November 13th. I didn't know, my daughter told me. So those are now days like Happy Sunday, Happy Daughter Day. But we don't need all that. You know what you grew up with. You, each and every one of you, had a good upbringing. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here today in this room. So go back to those core messages, go back to your foundation. That is all you have to do. It doesn't have to be a grandmother. It could be something that you came across on even on social media, which has been around for a couple of decades now. Anything that stuck with you, if you keep your core values as the guiding star in your decisions for social media, technology, how much technology you want in your life. I think that's a good way to kind of anchor yourself in everyday decisions. And some of these decisions are pretty complicated. For example, social media, you think you're doing a good job posting about this, but it could make somebody feel uneasy. or have a little jealousy attack, you know, it has to also kind of your mental health. How does it affect your mental health? It's all about your core values and what you grew up with. As long as you remember that, as long as you hold on to that, and then as long as you put that in your daily radar, I think each and every one of us would be just fine.
Thank you, Meghna. Thank you for the wonderful insight. So, Pramod, is it possible for tradition and progress to thrive together?
Absolutely, 110%. And sitting here, I'm a classic example for that. We all come from different cultural backgrounds. I mean, when I mean we, not just the people sitting in this room here. So this is like it's getting more into a global platform, and that's why we love to call our kids global citizens. And I've known a lot of global citizens, that Indians are raising the kids as global citizens, and every culture is kind of doing the same thing, because we are seeing in the last 20 years that boundaries are getting beaten down. So which means every culture, right? The one thing what I've learned, say it the easy way or the hard way, is to uh, get rid of the unconscious biases. I'll give a simple example. So 2 years back when we started our office in Dubai, and we signed up, with the private office of the royal family, because that's the requirement. So we did. We went to the wedding. We signed up. The first thing they said is you have to go through a cultural training. I was brought up in Hyderabad, so I'm a hardcore Hyderabadi. I know Hindi. I understand. I had these biases that, oh, I don't need this. Why is this cultural training is needed? They say it's mandatory. Everyone has to go through. It's a 2-hour session. So everyone, went in with this bias into the meeting, but what we walked out was extraordinary. It was not, because we went in thinking it's going to be the do's and don'ts, but it was more of a cultural immersion what we learned. And in fact, since after that happened, they advised us that anyone who's going to work in the MENA region, we suggest that you play this video to them, you provide this. So it was a great learning for us, which has kind of fast-tracked our uh, our progress. I would say probably about 3 times than any other company who's not made the effort to learn the cultural immersion. Again, I'm using the word immersion, not cultural, the do's and don'ts. So that was a great example, where we all, every culture, every background comes with, decades and centuries of that knowledge. And yeah, every culture has something to bring to the table, especially for a company who's thinking to go global. It's very important to understand. I'll give one other simple example. Um, so my Pam and my wife Pratima, we did our launch, Farm to Blade launch in Denmark and India. So they actually went to Denmark, and she flew because I couldn't make it. I was planning to go for the Indian launch, so she and Pam went. My wife, bought up here. She's used to all the luxuries. She went in. One of our representative, my colleague, went in to pick her up. She just assumed that the moment she gets off the flight, that she's going to be, taken away in a Uber or a taxi. She was put on a train. She was put on a bus. She was taken to a beat-down hotel, and that's how they live in the Europe. So she came back and she started to explain that, and we had a big learning from it. That okay, what are Europeans thinking? What is their mindset? How do we succeed in this country? When we set up an office, when we start to hire these people, having that knowledge definitely help us out, right? Sitting here, we just assume that just get in the car, get off the flight and all that. So these all learning and understanding, immersing ourselves into the cultures of anywhere. It doesn't matter whether you go to South America, you go to South Africa. I personally feel after this experience that everywhere we're setting an office, the first thing we're doing is to do a cultural immersion.
Great job, Pramod. And congratulations also for Pratima and Pramod for celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary 2 months ago or a month ago. So congratulations on that as well. And I would vouch for what you just said. I have that cultural competency classes or everyday lessons going on with my husband every day in the house, right? So we end up in a restaurant, I think in India, and I'm eating with the fork and he's eating with his hand. So that's the best it could get. So then 30 seconds for Ken and Samina. The same question: how has cultural heritage impacted you or given you an influence in your personal and professional journey? 30 seconds each.
One thing that I would always remember is that when I was growing up with my grandmom and my parents and everything, living here in the United States, I actually did not experience any type of um, you know, racial discrimination or anything like that. So the one thing that really made an impact for me is that I really didn't experience anything until maybe in college. But I really bring that up to say that as I was growing up, I really felt like I can actually do anything that I wanted to do. My parents and my mom and my dad would say, you can be the best you can be. And that really stuck with me growing up, because that's the same thing that I actually inspired in my kids to say, you can do things, whatever you set your mind to, set the sky is the limit for you. And so that really stuck with me. And so when I'm actually working with my team and I'm actually working along with other individuals, I'm looking at them in such a way of trying to, how do I inspire them? How do I encourage them in terms of what they're trying to accomplish and do?
Great job, Ken, and congratulations to your kids. They're up and going in Harvard and other great universities, so wishing all the best to them. Samina?
Yeah, this one,
If you can, yeah.
this one thing that I remember from back home is the commitment that families have, the commitment to each other. That is something that, like whatever sorrows, joys, everything together, how people commit to each other. That is the one thing that I really miss. Sometimes I feel like here in this fast-paced life, we forget that commitments are something that we need to tide us over. So if we could spend a little more time, maybe putting technology aside, just committing to relationships and committing to each other, that would be a perfect world.
If you can change me, you can change anyone here. Sorry, I'm accepting so many things of mine. But Meghna, the question for you is, you're an incredible storyteller, right? How do you use these storytellings in your publications or in your life, especially when addressing the issues of today?
That's a great question. And there's no one particular answer, but I'll talk about one aspect of it. I believe as human beings, we all have the same joys and we all have the same problems. They may mask it in different ways, they may, add different condiments on it, but it's the how to be happy and how to reach your goals. Those are the top two things on everybody's mind. So if I have to answer your question, I would say, so did you want me to answer in a particular aspect of it? How
Any, just everyday issues that you think that you actually advocate for.
I am all about safety for women. That is always a priority. If I can write about that, that was always has been my, because we are human beings first, man and woman later. That is what I've always believed at a very young age. There is no discrimination. Men are physically stronger, and I have seen a lot of cases of domestic violence. So that's a issue that's very close to my heart. So I try to write about empowerment of women as much as I can. It's not always easy. It's a very sensitive topic for most women. But talking to women who are victims of that and writing about that in NRI Pulse, it's a different kind of energy. They want to share, but at the same time, there's so much fear in their heart. So I really, yeah, my heart really goes out to them. They want to talk about it and they want to vent, so to speak, to me. Obviously, everything is anonymous when I write about it. In spite of that, they have that fear hovering over their heads. How much can I share? How much can I trust Meghna? Is she gonna, convey my name to everybody? So they've lost trust. They are shattered people, shattered women. They have lost trust. Do you know how hard it is to be a woman who has lost trust? How to wake up every day and act like you trust people, but you actually don't. And it's hard to get stories out of them, and it's to make them into a story that can be understood by people that, hey, you're not alone. The reason why I write is to answer your question. None of us are alone. I don't care what you're going through. You are not alone. That much I can promise you, and that's the reason I write. So if somebody reads it and it reaches one person, my job is done.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Meghna. An issue that, yes, definitely we should always talk about and not just put under the drug is domestic violence, and on either side, for women or for men. So thank you for bringing that up openly. Pramod, I'm sure you have values, and I know you have values that you're grounded with, right? And also you built a company that addresses, of course, technology, but also the community's efforts. Um, what is there a balance between those two? But my ultimate question is for entrepreneurs out here, what do you suggest that they can take their values along while building or running their company? How do they take their values along?
Absolutely. Um, for the entrepreneurs here, I don't know if there is a right or a wrong answer. I'll tell you what I've done with our company. So we all have our vision statement, our business plan, a mission statement, which is all good, right? So what we've learned in the recent past is that, you all, because of the different teams from all across the world, when I talk about it, aligning them all to one vision is not going to be an easy task. So we thought, let's take a four-pronged approach. The first one of it is the employee. So which means like, for everything that we do, we put employee at the center of it. We empower them. We want each one of them to be thinking, operating an entrepreneur. So we went ahead and first thing we did is, we shattered the top-down hierarchy. We said each one of us is the same. So-called flat management. We call it holacracy. We implemented it about 15 years back.
Can you repeat that word?
Holacracy.
Wow.
Holacracy.
Nice. Okay,
So
I think we're already doing that, but I didn't know it had a word.
yeah, so Tony from Zappos is the first guy who's implemented it full-fledged, and then I mean, flat management was always there. Holacracy was a little, more sophisticated than flat management, and then we started to implement EOS, which is basically called Entrepreneur Operating System. In essence, it'll give you 6 tools to empower your employees all across the world to tie to one common goal, and then work towards, thinking and operating like an entrepreneur. So that's the first one, which is the employee. The first prong of it is the employees, and then comes the your clients, your customers, right? Because at the end of the day, customer is king, and the cash that they bring in is always king. So we started to follow something called day one mentality, which Amazon has implemented. It's more or less like an operating model where you put your customer at the center of everything that you do. So which means like, that message could be relayed to anywhere in the world. It could be our sales guy calling from Denmark to a customer client here in the US. We are driven by the day one mentality. So that's the second prong that we implemented as a culture, as a cultural value proposition. And the third one is the community. We are all part of a community. Like, for example, me, I came to this country 26 years back, and I can't thank the state of Georgia, the ecosystem, the community that came in together to be where I am today, right? So each one of us, whether it's an immigrant story, whether, you're born, brought up anywhere in the world, we always have an ecosystem of community which is always helping us up and then putting us on the path. So this is the one thing wherein we as a company started to give out. When you said, we do a lot of this nonprofit, it's not just a check mark for us as a CSR activity, but we actually do it from the ground up, and each one of our employees get involved in the community, giving back to the community because what the community gave to us. So that's the third prong. And the fourth one is saving the planet. And it's not just because of the climate change, it's not just because of, what everyone is talking about it, but we have a moral and a conscious responsibility of serving the planet, of giving back to the planet. So in a very small way, we kind of do it. So we've signed up with Green Business Bureau. We're actually a platinum member, and we continue to do that. I'm not saying that, we're doing great strides in terms of, serving the planet, but small steps, being a small business, whatever small steps that we are taking all across the world to give back to the planet is something that we do. So these four, the prongs of approach that we've taken has brought together the company, not just by your vision statement, but now, when you look at it, what are you as a company? What is it you're doing? Each one of them then go and tie it up to all these four. So this has really worked wonders for us. And yeah, so again, there's no hard and fast rule that you have to go this way, that way, but find that value system which is going to bring you all together, especially when you're global teams and a global company.
Great, thank you so much. I hope it's been a valuable insight. But Ken, I am a huge believer of unity in diversity. What can we do to create this understanding across cultures?
Well, my thought is really just being able to interact and really be able to engage with the various different cultures and people. The one thing that all organizations, as well as individuals, should do is try and reach and meet and have conversations with other people. I've actually had the privilege to work with and really be engaged with a variety of different cultures. And I'll tell you a story. I remember, and this might date myself a little bit, but back in 1989, I was a developer at IBM, and back then you didn't actually have cubes. Everyone actually sat in offices. So I had an office, and I had shared the office with a gentleman by the name of Raj from India. And it was so interesting because it was really his first time coming to the US. And so I had the privilege really to be with him, and I actually taught him how to, he didn't actually drive, so I was helping him drive. I was helping him really kind of get organized within the environment because we were living in Southbury, Connecticut. But we really became really pals. And so when he got married, I went to his wedding, and then when I got married, I went to my wedding, and he went to my wedding, and so it was really right, exactly, yeah. But it was really great. Until this day, we are still best friends. I mean, and just literally, just a couple of weeks ago, one of my sons was in New York, and he's in New Jersey, and I had my son go to his house and really connect with him. And so really it's just all about creating the community and the connectivity and really engage and being vulnerable to really embrace one another. And it was very interesting by doing that.
Wonderful story. We are all able to relate to that, Ken. Thank you. So, Samina, can you tell us what is it that you do or what should be done to create unity amongst teams in a professional environment?
In a professional setting, what I would say works best is to bring diverse ideas, diverse perspectives together, and then the ability to hold polar opposite ideas, like inhale is just the opposite of exhale, but without inhaling and exhaling, we cannot accomplish our breathing. So how can you take separate ideas and bring them together in such a way that you can solve problems? So diversity in thoughts, diversity in ideas, and the cultural aspects from different regions of the world can be brought together to create these solutions to problems that exist today. And I have seen that innovation works for me that way. I bring together people from different cultures, different perspectives, coming together, maybe to fight out sometimes, but then how can you use these disparate ideas and solve a problem? So that's what innovation is all about, adaptation, the willingness to just step outside and listen to somebody else. So that has helped me quite a bit in the innovation aspect of things.
Thank you, Samina. 30 seconds for Meghna and Pramod. My question is the young people today, right? So how do you promote young people to have both value individually and community-wide? It's not just about individuality, but value both individuality and community for the young people.
This is a great question for me because I have a high schooler right now and a son in college. My second one is applying to colleges as we speak. For me, it's important that any individual who is younger and can still learn, is in that learning phase as a young adult, needs to learn what grit is. As far as grit is concerned, nothing of value will escape you or your life if you stick to grit. It's so easy to give up because of the day and technology that we live in. It's very easy to give up. We have distractions after distractions, but what is your end goal? There is going to be so many obstacles for you. And as a child, I want my child and every other child to value and learn how not to give up. There's going to be people, circumstances, situations, problems that come your way. And please make sure that you talk to anybody who's young in your child about grit. Do not give up. Either go the straight way. If it doesn't work, then be patient. You know, and your time and place is already reserved. Your destiny is already in place. Make sure that you have patience while you reach your goals and never give up.
Pramod, 30 seconds. Thank you, Meghna.
Sure. Is this for the youngsters here?
For the youth, yes,
Okay.
here and everywhere.
Sure. Yeah. Let's try and address the ones here. Passion project. So I would, great, like Meghna said, there's a very good TEDx talk on great. Just go ahead and listen to that. Working hard, this are you all kids do it. I don't think I have to specifically mention it, but having the passion project and the second part, like the community, forget about it. Don't worry about it right now. Frankly speaking, when you focus on your bigger goals, what you want to achieve, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the community is going to be there, and then you will give back to the community. Don't go for community just for the sake of getting those credits. It's not going to help you. I'm telling you, if you're doing this just so that you could get into an Ivy League, I can assure you it's not going to get you there. If it is your passion project, go for it, whatever it is. I would say, like, apart from your studies and everything, finding a passion project is very, very important. And I think, yeah, that is what I would tell you for everyone here and outside. Find the passion project, because I'm seeing it with my son. With high schoolers, middle schooler, the biggest problem is they're really good academic-wise, but not having the passion project is not going to take you the long way.
What a great advice, Pramod. So now we head to the last section, which is rapid fire. Ready? So it's just within 3 seconds you have to answer the question. So I'll go from Ken. Digital detox or social media scroll before bed? No thinking?
Digital media?
Digital detox or social media scroll before bed? Oh! Digital detox or social media scroll before bed?
Digital detox.
Yeah? Oh my gosh, you need to teach me some lessons. Yeah, he's been trying his best, but it's not working out here. So, Samina, next question. If you could bring back one aspect of the past, what would it be?
My childhood.
Oh. Pramod, which book has influenced your work the most?
I just read one book, what was that? Chop Wood, Carry Water by Joshua Metcalf. I mean, excellent book, excellent book.
It's about entrepreneurship,
It's
leadership.
about entrepreneurship, leadership, and it's applicable to everyone. In fact, I made my son read it this morning. I took the glimpses of it, printed it out in 6 page, made him read it, as a weekend project.
Very nice.
I love
I'm
it.
going to read that too. Meghna, name one app you can't live without.
Fitness Pal,
Yeah?
because I need it. It tracks
Oh,
all my
nice.
calories, and
I told you she's
I
a
need
macho
it.
woman.
I need my Fitness Pal because I overdo it. I have zero mind control with food. I need it.
Yeah,
Trust me,
I
it was
need-
made for Meghna
I
Naik.
need, each of you have a task. I need to learn from each one of you something. So, Ken, favorite place to disconnect from technology?
Golf course?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you all. He's like a pro golfer. No? Not yet. Getting there. Samina, one word to describe your approach to innovation.
Adaptability.
Very nice. Pramod, your go-to comfort food.
Jalebi. No, I'm sorry, no, gulab jamun. Yeah, gulab jamun. No,
Biryani.
she said comfort food, right?
Comfort food.
No, favorite food is biryani, all the time biryani, dum biryani.
So
but
comfort food, yeah. I think someone recently bought me this box of jalebi. It was gone the next day, but yours is gulab jamun. Good
yeah,
job.
Yeah, both actually.
Okay, both. So it wasn't that fun? We learned two of his favorite comfort food. Who's someone from your cultural heritage you admire?
Mother Teresa,
Oh, nice.
Kolkata. Oh, look at you. Wow. Yeah.
Great job,
Yeah.
Dr. Doshi. So, Ken, what's one tech tool you think everyone should use?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Good job. The last question, if you could invent one new technology, what would it do?
So many things to invent. I would invent something that my husband has always been wanting to do. He wants to attend weddings across the world, somehow virtually, but he wants to make it seem like he's standing right in front of the groom. So whatever that technology is.
So nice, Samina. We all women are learning, wives here are learning a lesson. So let's give it up for the panelists. Thank you so much. This has been a very good learning experience for all of us, and especially the youth. I hope we picked up a good words and sentences from this. In summary, what I learned is technology is a positive as well as it has its negative, but try to balance it. I feel like I'm preaching but not practicing, so tell you the fact. But I wish I would go back to practicing to find that balance between technology and relationship. And I agree that nothing can come as close as a human, authentic relationship. So Chai and Just Chat is back for the same reason. So there's more interactions and more chai and more chats. So with that, so let me give you a small memento, of course, from Vendorship uh, companies, memento, and check if there's four. Yeah. So thank you, Ken. Like for us to actually stand up. Team, because of interest of time, I know we didn't have the Q&A from the audience, but please know that the panelists will be here and you can see them dancing and singing as well in the later stage. So please catch them for any questions. Pramod and Pratima, you cannot leave. Where's Pratima? She just left. Oh, phone. Okay. Make sure you don't leave. Okay. So next, we have, of course, below if the dinner is ready. Rajan, do you know if the dinner is ready? So I would say if it is, I'm not sure, nobody's giving me any cues, but I'll just wait for 5 more minutes. But we can start with the last table, with Swami's table. If you can grab your food, it's just next door and come back. And then each table can start going from now on. Now comes the interesting session of awards disbursement. And we started this initiative called the Kindness Scholarship, right? So the Kindness Scholarship, I'm going to have Rasi come on stage. She's the one who read all the applications and she's graded them and scored. I didn't have any influence because I wanted to make sure she's in the applicant's level of reading and understanding and what she felt she was able to connect. So Rasi, do you want to come on board and announce the winners? And I would recommend winners to come one by one say a few words, and then they can go from here. They can come from the left side and then go from there. So they applied, they told us why they applied on an essay on what they think they will do or they've done to show their kindness. And so that's how they were assessed.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Rossi Wisepearl, and it's my honor to introduce the Kindness Award, which recognizes young individuals who have made a positive impact in their communities. As my mom said, I had a great opportunity of reading through all the applications. The scholarship was open to all students of all ages, elementary, middle, and high schoolers. Students submitted a short paragraph about the kindest thing they've done or would like to do to make the world a better place. There was 3 key qualities that the applicants were evaluated based on, which is creativity, how thoughtful and unique was the act of kindness, the impact, how meaningful was the act, and sincerity, did it reflect genuine empathy. I will call winners up right now to receive their prize, and each winner will have the opportunity to say a few words, if they'd like, about their act of kindness or what the scholarship means to them. Thank you again for the support, and let's continue to celebrate these students' efforts. Okay. So for first place, the first person I'd like to call up is Himani Arun.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the recognition. I'm so happy I got this scholarship. I study at Midway Elementary. Midway Elementary is one of the oldest schools in Forsyth County. This year we moved to a new campus. Since we moved to a new campus, we're raising funds for the new playground equipment. I'm planning to give the scholarship to my school so the whole school can buy new equipment and play. Thank you.
So the next first place winner is Charlie Ranney.
Hello. This was a pleasure to have this scholarship. At my school, there's this thing called Kindness Club, and I've started it from when it was like 3 people to tripled the amount now. I'm going to donate this money to the Kindness Club to also help with an IB project to show kids at our school who don't have as much privilege or anything to get school supplies or food, to show them that they have a chance to do stuff good.
Okay, and the last first place winner is Shreya Kurudi.
Thank you so much for this recognition. I started advocating for the autistic community through my art in 2018 when I was in middle school, and now I'm a senior in high school, and I've been able to expand that into an organization called Color Me Blue, and we sell handmade artwork to fundraise for autism-focused nonprofits, and we also host educational events. And I know that this money is going to open up a lot of opportunities for us, so I'm very grateful. If you are ever interested in handmade artwork or greeting cards, look up Color Me Blue. And I also have some business cards with me today. So thank you so much.
Okay, and on to our second place winners. The first one I'd like to call up is Siddharth Vaibhav. Okay, so the second person I'd like to call up is Anushka Naik.
I'm a senior at Alpharetta High School. I know that kindness and community go hand in hand. I have a club at my high school called Girl Up. It's a global organization, and I put a chapter at our school. It's a feminist organization, and I help women in need all around Alpharetta, and I help the environment by doing fundraisers, donating period products to women's shelters, cleaning litter around bodies of water in Alpharetta. And I would like to use this money to promote our club because we only have 1 year going as a co-president. And I'd just like to thank you for the support and to promote my club. Thank you.
Okay, and the last second place winner I'd like to announce is Munir Sultan.
Hi, everybody. I'm a freshman in high school. I just want to say thank you for the scholarship opportunity. I love participating in scholarships. I think it's really cool. My idea for a kindness project was instead of just having a one-time project, it would be something that keeps on repeating, something where we collect blankets in our classroom and we would donate them in the Thanksgiving time to people that need them on the streets. And it would be like giving extra credits to students who donate blankets, and I think it's a cool idea because it keeps on going.
So apt for Thanksgiving gratitude, Munir.
Okay, and now to our third place winners. The first one I'd like to call up is Charlotte Everly and Parado.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Prado, and I'm 9 years old at Shaker Egg Elementary School. Thank you so much to Chai and Just Chat for this award. I have always felt that random acts of kindness were important. With this award, I plan on providing multiple gifts to random strangers to instill the importance of random acts of kindness in the community, and I can't wait to update you afterwards. Thank you again, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
I would like to call up Ashwika Latia. Do you want to say a few words?
So about kindness for me is I love pets, like fundraising, and it's kind to care about pets because they kill pets, and it's not nice. So I would like to give them some food, some water, and try to save their life.
I would now like to call up Diti Rogan.
Hi, my name is Diti Ragan. I'm a sophomore at Denmark High School, and this year I started a chapter of a club called Unite for Change. We help out with disadvantaged kids, and during holiday season, a bunch of parents struggle being able to buy gifts for their children. So, with the scholarship, we've already bought over 100 presents, and we plan to go give them out this weekend. And we'd like to use the scholarship to continue that. Thank you.
And now, for our final award winner for this scholarship, I'd like to call up Sunil Latia.
I like to thank them for like helping me have like an honor and helping me like with my mission to help like underprivileged people and communities, and I would thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Rasi, for your time. Appreciate you. And continue. I hope all of us learn to continue to spread kindness, not just today, but every day in every walk of our life. Thank you, Rasi. Next, I'd like to bring Sheenam Kakkar. She was the coordinator and reviewed applications. We put applications out for Empower Her Scholarship Fund, basically for women entrepreneurs who are planning to start a business. One of the, I'm going to let her say.
Hi, good evening, everyone. We have arrived at the most anticipated moment of the evening, the announcement of the Empower Her Award winners. This award stands as a testament to exceptional talent and innovative ideas, celebrating those who dare to dream, challenge the conventional, and make a significant impact in their communities and beyond. Each participant brought something uniquely valuable and inspiring. After much deliberation, 2 winners have emerged, each presenting ideas that is innovative and impactful. It is our honor to recognize them today. Without further ado, let's proceed with the announcing our first winner. Her innovative idea of a personalized handcraft clutch for saris truly impressed us. Her focus on artistry, ethical practices, and conscious consumer bring a unique touch to the market. We believe her business will significantly impact the handbags and accessories market, especially for women who value unique and handmade products. Please welcome Prema Rajan. Prerna, would you like to share your thoughts?
Thank you for this sweet honor, and I appreciate the initiative, especially to Ms. Nazira. I dedicate this, especially this award, to all the women out there who are breaking the barriers and being successful and dare to dream. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
Now it is time to announce our second winner. Her visionary idea for women-oriented funding program that provides resources for better women is truly inspiring. Her commitment to addressing the sensitive issue of domestic violence and her vision for creating a lasting impact are highly commendable. We are confident that her initiative will offer valuable employment opportunities and positively contribute to the local community. So please welcome Meghna Naik. Meghna would like to share.
Thank you, everyone. This means a lot. Oh, I'm getting emotional. This is something I've done on my own all this time, and this is the first time I've got support. So this is my first time somebody else has contributed to my personal goals. So I appreciate it, and I will never forget this. Thank you so much.
So As a reminder, so as a reminder, we expect both winners to follow up with us in 3 to 6 months with updates on how they have utilized the funds and implemented their ideas. We are incredibly proud of you both and very excited to see your visions flourish. Congratulations once again. Let's give a warm and enthusiastic round of applause for Prema and Meghna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sheenam. Thank you for your time as well and expertise in choosing the winners. And so this is the end of the educational and award session. The next session is the dinner session and the music session you've been waiting for. So don't leave. You have to do a few steps because we're all grabbing dinner shortly.